Hey, happy Tuesday. Happy book review day. Today's book is a classic. Victor Hugo's Les Miserables, or Les Mis, or whatever you want to call it. I've seen the musical. I'd never read the book. And by training, actually, I studied classic literature, English and American, really from like 1700 to 1920-ish. And so I've read a lot of the big books of the European novels like Samuel Richardson's Clarissa, which is 1,500 pages or more, depending. Um, Rob Roy and Tom Jones and Don Quixote and all those. And I love big books like that. But weirdly, for whatever reason, I hadn't read Victor Hugo. So I figured I should probably fix that. And this is almost exactly 1,500 pages. There are, of course, shortened or abbreviated or abridged versions of it out there. If you've only ever seen the musical, then you're missing a lot of the book because that is probably, I don't know, maybe a third of it, maybe a quarter. Um, what you miss by the abridgments are a lot of information from Hugo that provides background and history and context, and it's kind of, I mean, it's like his narrator is very philosophical and talking about these different situations his characters find themselves in. You get a lot more backstory on everyone, and it's really interesting. I mean, it's a long book, so it's a commitment, but the good thing is, like, obviously you know that it stood the test of time because the musical's still being performed. There are some really good audiobook versions of it, and I did listen to one of those at one point as well. I'm always curious to see how it translates from the audiobook, or into the audiobook, I should say. But I like the Penguin Classics. Those are those are often the translations in print that I like the best of the classic books. They do a good job of like having a nice introduction and historical context, and sometimes additional readings and that kind of thing. Um, oh, lived up to the hype. I enjoyed it. If you're in for a big book, and especially if you're a fan of the musical and you want to get the rest of the story, I would totally recommend Les Mis. It feels silly to recommend something that's such a classic, and I think maybe it's only not taught now because of how long it is. But Victor Hugo. Thanks. What are you reading? Bye.